Jessica Kiss with your Monday morning local news update. A Bullitt County father is arrested for allegedly abusing his son. 25-year-old Rodney Fudge was taken into custody. School officials at Stilson Elementary called police when they noticed extensive bruising on a 6-year-old boy. The child was taken into DFAC's custody for his safety. Fudge is charged with 1 count of cruelty to children in the 1st degree and 1 count of battery domestic violence. No bond has been set at this time. A Port Wentworth teenager is accused of firing a gun at a Metro police officer. 19-year-old Quintavious Lee is charged with aggravated assault and possession of a firearm, among other charges. Police say he and another man were being questioned in Yamacraw Village April 18th because they fit the description of some robbery suspects. Then, while the other man was being handcuffed, Lee pointed a gun at the officer and that other man and pulled the trigger. But that gun misfired. Lee was taken into custody as well. Another former Chatham County correctional officer is arrested for sexually assaulting an inmate. The sheriff's office said a grand jury indicted 55-year-old Corporal Shelton Crowder after an internal investigation revealed he had committed sexual assault on a person in custody on August 12th. Now, in addition to the assault charge, Crowder faces charges of public indecency, false statements and writings, and obstruction. Last week, another former corrections officer for Chatham County was booked into the jail for a sex assault charge. A chain reaction collision causes a major north-south thoroughfare to close in Chatham County. First responders and cleanup workers were on scene all night long. About 6:30 this morning, officials reopened all lanes of Interstate 95 between Highway 204 and Interstate 16. Here is what WJCL gathered from 3 responding agencies on the scene and from a key witness. A fatal motorcycle accident causes a chain reaction of collisions on Interstate 95.
I went there, I see a dead body.
Joel Cordero was headed home to Pooler after work. It was about 10:30 and he was cruising on the interstate.
I see a motorcycle flip from one side to the other side. And he almost like 10 feet maybe flying behind my car. And I stopped the car, I called 911. When I look in the mirror, I was talking to 911, emergency. When I see a big truck, it was flip off too. We hit somebody, and I pushed the gas, and I see another car hit another car.
On arrival, we found a total of 5 vehicles involving a tractor and trailer that's overturned and a motorcycle. At this time, we confirm there is 1 fatality. We had 3 other patients that were transported with minor injuries, basically.
Authorities back up what the witness said. The motorcyclist lost his life at the scene. Obviously, the seriousness of that accident has required hours of investigating, but the back-to-back accidents also left crews with a fuel spill, vehicle debris, and the victim's belongings to clean up. Fire Chief Simmons has seen his share of serious scenes.
It is pretty spectacular for an accident out here. The multiple vehicles and the fact that it's spread out the way it is makes it a little higher on the scale for some of the other ones.
As for Cordero, he thinks he escaped the accident by a second and no more.
Now my wife is worried right now. She wants me to go home.
Oh, and you can understand. Imagine making that call to your loved one, what you just witnessed and missed by a second.
Absolutely, yeah, and that was the weather you didn't think was that a problem because the fog didn't develop until later after 10 o'clock. So
yeah, no word on what caused any of those accidents.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously a very complicated scene, but authorities have been looking into it for so many hours, and I assume we'll hear more today.
Right, and I guess for the morning commuters going down 95 north or southbound,
all clear now.
It's all open now. Okay,
yes.
So it's good for them, man.
Last hour, I took you to a new place on Savannah's east side that offers many tools for somebody who is homeless to try to turn things around and make it on their own. Here is my special report, Rebounding After Homelessness. Ronnie Brooks takes some moments before work to relax and watch the traffic on Bay Street. He's fresh off an emotional interview about the 7 hardest months of his life.
I was homeless at one point in time. Now I do have a job and everything. I do stay at a place. So last year was kind of rough for me, but it's a lot better.
The 50-year-old Savannah transplant is a university graduate and U.S. Marine Corps veteran. He left Atlanta in September 2011 and remembers the sleepless night after he arrived here on a bus.
I just wandered around, wondering where I'm going to do, what I'm going to do next, and that was my worst night here, I would say.
But Brooks says he quickly started making changes in himself. Advice he now gives to others.
Change your environment, change the people that you're around also. Be around positive things.
He learned to utilize resources provided by the Department of Veterans Affairs, Goodwill, and the Savannah Baptist Center. He also started repaying favors by volunteering at a place that serves the homeless.
I tell them, look at me. I felt the same way at one point in time, but I had to realize that I can. You know, I'm here for a purpose. And the purpose for me is to say that I can tell everybody else that you can also.
Brooks is now on his third paying job since he got to Savannah as a homeless man. Each new position has meant a promotion and more money. He can afford rent at a local boarding house. He also now makes enough for visits with the most important people in his life.
My best day recently was in December when I went to actually see my kids for the first time in probably about a year and a half. That was the most awesome feeling I had. You know, surprised my boys. Just to look in their faces when they saw me come through the door, and my boys read to me.
A good moment, huh? Did it feel like you were back?
Yes, but I was back, and just made me proud to see them.
Ronnie Brooks told me he never wants to see his children experience homelessness. He tells them to be leaders. He says followers can end up in bad situations. Friday morning, Savannah officially welcomed the Oasis Center. Back in February, our TV cameras gave you the very first look inside. The list tells the tale. In 10 weeks of a soft opening, this place has served 786 homeless people in Savannah.
I was homeless for a while, and I spent most of a year under the Truman Parkway Bridge, and that was not the way I wanted to live my life. And then I've since, you know, just gotten to better things. You know, we have day lockers and showers and washers and dryers, and get cleaned up and stuff, and go find a job and get out of this existence, you know, and get off the streets and get a better way of life.
And since I was here in February, they have added haircuts. A volunteer gives men and women haircuts for free. It takes 3 volunteers per shift here at the Oasis Center to keep things running smoothly. The Savannah Baptist Center has not had a problem getting people to volunteer. It's nice to see that a place so well thought out is being well received today. In Savannah, Jessica Kiss, WJCL News. Well, when he becomes big time, you can say you saw him on WJCL-abc way back when. Here to sing from his debut album, Drunk on Sunshine, is Pooler native Jared Wade. Jared, the mic is all yours. Well, just about every major parade in the country extends an offer to the Budweiser Clydesdales. For this weekend, the Hitch agreed to be in 2 parades for the St. Patrick's Day holiday. Soft eyes and an unbraided mane, dull training harnesses, and even King the Dalmatian will all change Saturday. The Budweiser Clydesdales will put on the Ritz. The shiny metal might just blind you under the Savannah sun. Each piece of leather will be polished perfection. Those horses will be perky. After all, this is Budweiser's most compelling advertising. But there's a mutual affection between the fans here and the crew.
I remember it's a great feeling because you're going down the parade route. Everybody's wearing green, everybody's cheering, everybody's hollering as your horses are coming by, and everybody just loves seeing the Budweiser Clydesdales going down the street.
While you wait for the big red wagon, here are some fun facts to share with your neighbors. 10 horses travel with the group, but you'll only see 8 in the parade.
2 for backups and spares, and we rotate them in and out so everybody gets a day off.
The strongest in the group are the 2 closest to the wagon. Those guys are the wheelers. The most handsome 2, they go in the front. Have to make a good first impression.
Each horse weighs about 2,000 pounds, and they stand 18 hands at the shoulder, which is about 6 to 6.5 foot.
What does 6-year-old Mackenzie King compare the horses to in size?
Maybe an elephant?
Well, they're strong like elephants. Hauser says each Clydesdale can pull double its weight. These 2 could safely pull 8,000 pounds. Their hooves are the size of salad plates.
Compared to small horses, they're probably about 4 to 5 times bigger.
On parade day, the crew braids the mane and tail with ribbon. Takes them 10 minutes per horse.
We've done a lot of braiding, so we're pretty good at it by now.
There you have it, some fun facts about a favorite in the Savannah St. Patrick's Day Parade. We have just a little bit of time. You know, the rodeo is in town in Statesboro.
Is it really?
Yeah, the Statesboro Kiwanis Rodeo is tonight and tomorrow. You know, I love me a rodeo.
No, you like that kind of stuff. Are you going to it, maybe?
Any excuse to put on my cowboy boots.
There you go.
And see, the livestock.
How about your cowboy hat? You got a hat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kiwanis Ogeechee Fairgrounds on Route 67 in Statesboro is where it all happens. So check out the website, and we'll put a link on ours too, thecoastalsource.com.
Good weekend coming up. Temperatures in the 70s with lots of sunshine. After we get through the morning hours, a little bit of rain. And here's a look at that weekend forecast. Temperature tomorrow 72, Sunday 74 degrees. Sunday, happy birthday to Jessica Kiss.
Why, thank you,
You're
sir.
welcome.
Have a great weekend, everybody.